Hi guys, I just wanted to jump on and do a video super quick to teach you what you're going to do when you get your makeup. So you should have your makeup in by now. And if you do, I'm going to give you all the way from the basics of how to arrange your compact all the way to how to apply with a few different brushes. So first of all, you're going to get your tins in. They look like this. You're just going to slide them apart so you see your product. They will pop right out. And they are magnetic, so they are going to magnetize right into your compact. Now, you may have a smaller compact than this, you may have a larger compact than this. It doesn't really matter, and it doesn't really matter how you organize your tins in your compact. It's just personal preference. You can kind of see that I have my main highlight color and then my brightening highlight. I have my contour, my color corrector, a few lip and cheeks, but I do always like to keep powder things separate on the bottom. So my eyeshadows are down here, my setting powder, and then I just have like my lip conditioner, my illuminator, and my bronzer. So all in my one compact, but it doesn't really necessarily matter how you arrange it. So let's go ahead and get started. The first mistake that I find that most people do is that they apply way more than they need. You do not need a lot of cream makeup. A little bit goes a long way. And when I mean a little bit, I mean a very little bit. So one of the brushes that I usually suggest for everyone is the blush and bronzer brush. This brush is great for that light to medium coverage. It's great for getting into pores, blending, just so many things. So I'm going to start out and I'm going to take my main highlight and I am just like pressing into this. So your main highlight color should last you about 2 to 3 months. So that just shows you with how little is in here, how little you need to use. I'm going to avoid that guy for now. And I will come back to it. So some of you may have gotten color correctors. Some of you may not have. Totally whatever you needed for your specific face. I'm going to color correct under my eyes just to show those of you who did get a color corrector how to use it. And I am just swirling this makeup right in. Okay, so if you did get a color corrector, you might have gotten something like Frenchy for under your eyes. Sometimes I suggest Mango too. I just like to take a little on my finger and just go right over that dark circle. And you will see what a difference this makes. And a very little bit of this goes a long way also. You do not need a lot. It looks kind of silly because my under eyes are all pink now, but I promise it will work. I also like to take Mango, which is another one that sometimes I suggest for under eyes. And that is great for spot correcting anything that has some like bluish tones to it. So that guy got covered with some Mango. Sometimes I use it for my moles too, total personal preference. If you have maybe something that is a little bit more red, you're going to want to use a color like June or even Aspen, which is a contour, and that will cover that right up. So now I'm going to go back over with my main highlight, and anywhere where I color corrected, I'm going to want to stipple, not pull. So you don't necessarily, you can swipe your makeup if you want. Definitely don't swipe into your tin because you're going to get way more than you need, but I prefer stippling or swirling rather than pulling. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to go into my brightening highlight, and I always suggest one for every single person. And I just dabbed in there too. And I'm just going to start applying this in a triangle-like shape under my eyes. Okay, not only is this brightening the center of my face, but it is also kind of lifting that cheekbone. So see how that lightness against that cheekbone makes it pop even more? And by brightening the center of your face, it's going to draw people's eyes to the center of your face rather than things that may be going on around the outside. And that's really what we want, is people to look us in the eyes and, you know, listen to what we're saying. All right, so I just brightened right under my eyes. This is not something that you have to do if you're not into that brightened look. Don't feel like you have to. You can just maybe brighten a little bit on your forehead here, which I feel helps a lot. I like to take it right down the center of my nose. And just with any extra, I'm going to put it on my chin too. Sometimes in here, hide these creasy guys a little bit. And I am good to go. I even can take some over my eyelids so that I'm sure that all of it is off of my brush. And that will also help, you know, get rid of that dark lid that I have and prime for eyeshadow. So now, usually another brush that I will suggest, if you like more of a full coverage than that, you're going to want to do the Buff brush. It is awesome for full coverage. I may have suggested that one. And then for contouring, I love the blend brush and I also love the detail brush. One or the other, they're going to give you essentially the same kind of effect, but I'll show you one side versus the other. So I am just going to lightly dip into my contour with the big fluffy end, and I'm going to suck my cheeks in and just kind of scoop right under that cheekbone just to give it that little shadow. And this is what's going to give you that three-dimensional look and help you appear like you lost 5 pounds in your face in like no time flat. So just under there, see what that did? I'm going to shape the outside of my forehead so that my forehead is a little more like bright towards the center. And also by doing this, if you want to take it in a little further, go in a little further this way, it's going to help your forehead appear thinner. And if you bring it down a little bit, it's going to help your forehead appear shorter. So you can take a little around here and kind of chisel out your jaw, giving you that Angelina Jolie kind of jawline. If you want to, you can slim down the sides of your neck. That'll make your neck appear thinner. You can do your clavicles, so many fun things, okay? Then I'm going to switch to the other end and I'm going to contour my nose. So what you need to do for this is a very, very, very little, goes a long way, and you just want to very lightly, just barely go down that side of your nose. The closer you get your two lines together, the thinner your nose will appear. And then you're just going to buff it up towards your brow so that it looks more natural, okay? And you can kind of see when I turn sideways, I will blend that. It's just right there. It's not all the way down the side of my nose. So super simple. If you want to do a more chiseled look, I might have suggested the detailed brush. Now, the detail brush, I'm doing the same thing, but I just took it on the edge of my brush, my contour, and I suck in, same spot, and just kind of scoop right under that cheekbone, like that. Same thing, frame the outside of my forehead and kind of connect it down to here. And then I'm just going to kind of brush it back. And so now you can see that since my whole forehead is done, that it kind of makes you draw more attention to the center of my face because it is lighter. Okay, super easy. Same thing under my jaw. And then I'm going to do the small end with this one and contour that other side of my nose. And as you watch, as this happens, you will see that by getting my lines close together, it really does sculpt out my nose and make it look so much thinner. Okay, so just by focusing the light just on that strip down the middle, my nose looks like it is thinner than it actually is in real life. And if you make a mess of it, don't worry, just take your highlight, your brightening highlight, and just go right down the bridge of that nose, and that will help clean it up. Okay, let's go on to my next favorite thing in the entire world, and that is going to be my bronzer. So I'm going to blend this as I bronze. If you did not get a bronzer, whether you got Glow Illuminator as your bronzer or Bella as your bronzer, if you didn't get a bronzer, you can skip this part. I'm just going to put it on the big fluffy end of my bronzer brush and kind of smile. And right at that apple of my cheek, I'm going to start applying just a little bit and then blend it kind of in a C shape around. So you might be wondering, what in the world is the difference between a bronzer? Like, can I use my bronzer as my contour? And as you can see, my contour is darker. It's mimicking a shadow, whereas my bronzer is warmer. So it's gonna make me look like I am a sun-kissed goddess all year long. And who really doesn't want that? So you can kind of see that it's blending everything together too by using this fluffy end of this brush, kind of softening my contour lines. I can kind of do the side of my nose so it looks a little smoother. And there you go. If your neck is lighter, take some down your neck, into your chest. You can put a little bit between your girdles if you want to emphasize those a little bit. Whatever you need, bronzer can be applied all over. But this end of this brush, whether you're using it with the bronzer or not, is awesome for blending so that your makeup just looks so much more natural. And that's really giving you that 3D look. Okay, let's go on to blush. So we have mattes, we have glosses, we have satin finishes, we have all kinds. I'm going to show you two of my favorites. This one right here is nude. And I'm just going to kind of right here on the apple of my cheek, put it there. And then I'm just going to kind of blend up. So I always suggest blushes for everyone. If you are not a blush person, I think I need to change your mind, because it can add so much vibrancy and life to your face, making you look so much younger. And so also, if you just want to create a cheek, you're just going to focus right here on the apple and keep it there, so it just makes your cheek look fuller. And if you take it up like your contour, it's going to slim out your face. So that's another fun trick for slimming your face. And then I'm going to go on and I'm going to do my lips. So I'm just going to take, this time I'm going to take Tropicana first and put that on just to show you. This is a little bit more glossy. And it looks so pretty on so many skin tones. And then if you want to deepen it, you can always layer. I'll add some nude to that. I like to apply my gloss actually before my matte, just because it helps keep my lips hydrated all day long. But I still get to mix the two colors. And then last, our other main product is our illuminator. And you're just going to kind of put that right on that cheekbone, kind of around the eye socket. And that's just going to give you that kind of candlelit glow. Look like you should be on a runway. Okay, eyebrow bones. Little, I like down the center of my nose. If you want to make yourself appear more awake, you can pop a little bit in the corners of your eyes. That really makes your eyes pop. And then if you want to make your lips look more plump, well, I also like a little here because it emphasizes my Cupid's bow just slightly. Look at that. Just that perfect little glow. If you want to make your lips look more plump, you can pop a little in the center of your face. Now, super duper important with your cream makeup, you need to set it one way or the other. So if you are someone who likes more of a matte look, you are going to want to use our vanilla dust right here. Or if you just have oily spots, I suggest the powder brush. And I like this end, but into my oily areas, I just pop a little bit of that, and that will set my makeup in those spots. If you do not have any oily areas, or you just want that dewy finish, you can just go ahead and get the setting spray that I may have suggested for you. And you can just spray it on the perfector sponge, or you can just spray it all over your face if you really want to. But I prefer to do it on the sponge. So I just take it, spray it on my sponge, push it into my face. Well, first I make my sponge wet, wring it out, then spray it on the sponge, and press it into your face. So that is going to press your makeup in and just make it last all day long. So that is it. Super easy. I used a couple different brushes just to show you the difference depending on which I suggested for you. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me anytime, and I'm always happy to recolor match you if seasons change or if you're just having some questions or want some other tutorials, don't forget to join my Facebook group, Allison Eber Beauty. And also I have YouTube tutorials of all kinds of other fun things that you can do with your Seint makeup. So I hope you have a fabulous day, and I will see you all soon. Bye.